This is Andi Purewal, Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm joined by Mike Coppinger here in Texas. Mike, firstly, how are you?
Doing great. A little more colder than I thought it would be in Texas, coming from California, but yeah, we're bearing with it, right?
I was going to say, when I stepped off my plane, I was kind of surprised to be hit by the chilly conditions out here, but obviously thankful to be here ahead of what will be a brilliant card. As I've said to a few people this week, it's probably slid under the radar a little bit simply because Wilder Fury was a weekend before. But just how good is this card coming tomorrow night?
I think it might be the best zone card top to bottom since it's been in its inception since 2018. Obviously, there have been better main events, but you have a great fight in Mikey Garcia, Jesse Vargas. I think Jesse Vargas is going to give Mikey a much better fight than people expect. Mikey simply isn't a 147-pounder. And then we're going to see, I'm really excited for Chocolatito against Yafai. I want to see what Chocolatito has left. He was once considered by many the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And now we haven't seen him in a big fight since he was knocked out by Rung Visai in 2018. So we even have Israel Madrimov, Joseph Parker. Those are mismatches, but still should be fun.
Obviously, let's just try and work our way through the card. Start off with that headline fight, Mikey Garcia, Jesse Vargas. You mentioned the weights. Many people still trying to see. Many people don't think Mikey is a 147 operator yet. Jesse, obviously, world level himself. Mikey is a favourite going into it, but what should we expect between the pair of them when they are in the ring on Saturday?
I think it's going to be a really good action fight. I think we're going to see close quarters action. We know Jesse Vargas loves to press the action. We saw him do that against Adrian Broner, against Thomas Delorme. He's rarely in a bad fight. Mikey Garcia, too, has been in some good fights, and I think you're looking at two technicians here. But Mikey Garcia is a little bit better at everything he does. Jesse Vargas is bigger. I think that's going to even it out a little bit, and I expect a close fight, and that goes 12 rounds.
Kalia fight versus Roman Gonzalez, or Chocolatito as everybody calls him. As you've said, everybody's trying to wait to see what's left of Chocolatito. Eddie said in previous interviews, if it's even 80% of a version that we've once seen, Kalia fights in for a very tough night. Is that the way that you see it?
I think the jury's still out on Kalia too. We haven't really seen him against anyone that's on even close to the top level. So I don't know what he has, and I don't know what Chocolatito has left. So this seems to me to be kind of I don't want to say a crossroads fight because Yafai is undefeated, right? But I think it's going to answer a lot of questions about the future of both guys. And 115 pounds is red hot right now. 115, 118, even 112 with Julio, Cesar, Martinez. Look how many guys you have there. Inoue, you have Juan Francisco Estrada. We mentioned Rung Visai. So I love seeing good fights in weight classes that are packed.
I mean, what do you make of the Julio Cesar Martinez and Jay Harris fight?
I think Martinez is going to blow by Jay Harris. He's just a different level of fighter there. But good for Jay Harris getting his opportunity, coming a long way to do it. I'm sure he'll come to win. But Martinez, in his short amount of time with Eddie Reynoso, the reigning trainer of the year, also trains Canelo Alvarez. We've seen a very aggressive fighter who can go to the body, change levels well, and just goes for the knockout. We saw that in December on that undercard of Danny Jacobs and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
And obviously, you've just mentioned as well Joseph Parker earlier on in this interview. I know she's a heavy favourite once again against Shawn Winters, but he's looking to get back in there, just shaking off kind of ring rust on the back of his spider bite. Should we have expectations that he's going to possibly stop Shawn? Does he need to stop him to kind of catapult himself back into the world mix, or just below the world mix as with those 3 or 4 other fighters?
I forgot all about the spider bite. How could I forget about it? One of the funnier... we have the spider bite. We have the Deontay Wilder costume. Parker definitely needs a knockout. It would be huge for him. He needs some momentum. Like, you're right, he's been out of the conversation for a while. Heavyweight division has never had more momentum than it has right now, at least in the past 10 years. Parker is a player. He's a former champion. He's still in his prime. So, I would love to see a knockout from him, get him back in the mix, and Winter shouldn't present much of a problem.
Obviously, Joseph was previously going to face Dereck Chisora until his spider bite. Dereck Chisora, by all accounts, is going to face Alexander Usyk next. What are your thoughts on that fight?
Well, it is a done deal. So it's going to be May 23rd at the O2 in London. I think it's a great test for Usyk. Usyk's obviously the much better fighter, but I don't know how Usyk is going to take a heavyweight punch. I don't know how much power Usyk has behind those punches. I think Chisora is the perfect guy to answer both those questions. He's a durable guy with a great chin, and he can punch. So we know Usyk can outbox him. I want to see what happens there, and I love that fight. Chisora is just a crazy guy. I saw him in Vegas at the Wilder Fear fight, just walking around with the sunglasses, brooding. If anyone dare mess with him, I don't even know what would happen.
Obviously, as well, you mentioned Eddie Reynoso is going to be here for Julio Cesar Martinez earlier on in this interview. Eddie obviously looks after Canelo, trains Canelo, and manages him. What's the latest that you're aware of with Canelo's next fight? By all accounts, it is either Billy Joe Saunders or Callum Smith next, unless you know differently.
It is one of those two. So he's going to fight at 160 pounds for one of the titles, whether it's Billy Joe Saunders or Callum Smith. Both guys obviously promoted by Eddie Hearn, but very different. You have Callum Smith's kind of quiet outside the ring. Billy Joe Saunders is anything but. So I know Canelo prefers Billy Joe Saunders, and so does the Zone actually, because he's going to sell the fight more. Then you have Callum Smith, who's a much bigger man, 6'4", comes forward. That's probably a better fight inside the ring, but I think Billy Joe Saunders is the tougher fight and the better promotion. And I expect to have an answer. Could be any minute now, could be any hour. Who knows? I've been expecting it for a couple of weeks.
I mean, how much longer can we afford to wait for an official announcement, knowing that whoever is going to face Canelo and Canelo himself, they need actual time to prepare for fight? I know they'll be in the gym, but it's different being in the gym, not knowing who you're going to face, and being in the gym who you do know you're going to face.
It's got to be in the next couple of days at the most. I can't see it going much further than this. This is getting, seems to always be the case when it comes to these Canelo fights, and he is the biggest star in boxing, so I guess something comes with it, but yeah, it's running out of time.
And obviously, we briefly touched on the past fight, the little rematch in Las Vegas this past weekend between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury with a seventh round victory. What was your thoughts on his performance and victory? Now you've had a bit more time to reflect.
Excellent performance by Tyson Fury. He establishes himself as the unquestioned ruler of the heavyweight division. He would be a favorite against Anthony Joshua for sure. And I'm happy to see him come forward, because the one knock on Tyson Fury always, right, was this guy is kind of boring. Eddie Hearn said it, Joshua said it, boring fight against Vladimir Klitschko. The Wilder fight, the first meeting, at times was a little anticlimactic until the knockdowns that Wilder scored. But Fury, man, he just destroyed Wilder. I was so impressed by the way he feinted coming in. He wasn't just recklessly applying pressure. He had foot feints, shoulder feints with the left. He had Wilder guessing and just destroyed him. So I have him on my pound-for-pound list now, and I think Fury has a chance to be the real face of boxing.
What did you make of what Deontay said after the fight? Firstly, he didn't agree with his corner throwing him a towel, and secondly, he brought up his costume weighing over 40 pounds.
I respect that Deontay Wilder was so mad. He's a competitor. That's why he's mad about the towel coming in. He means what he says. That was genuine anger at him not being allowed to go out on his shield. But Breland did the right job. Breland isn't supposed to be worried about what his fighter wants. He needs to protect his fighter. We know that these guys are all competitive like that. That's why they get to this point. So, I mean, look, if he has to get rid of Breland to feel better and have more confidence, so be it. But I applaud Breland's effort and his decision. And the costume, I mean, what can you say about the costume? Probably better he didn't say it. Even if he does believe it, maybe he does, I don't know. It just seems, even if it's true, which I can't imagine it would be, don't say it probably, the ounce doesn't seem to be helping him.
Obviously, since then as well, Deontay's come out, he said he's going to exercise. That rematch clause, there will be a third fight. Are you interested to see the third fight?
I'm not uninterested, but I'm not dying to see it. I mean, who's going to pick Deontay Wilder over Tyson Fury? Doesn't mean he can't beat Tyson Fury, but I think you're going to have to make Fury a sizable favorite now in this fight. Can Deontay Wilder at 34 really adjust? What is he really going to do differently? I do say, though, similar to that Anthony Joshua Andy Ruiz fight, we saw Wilder's legs go out from underneath him after that third-round knockdown. He had that right hand right on the left ear, equilibrium shot. Who knows how that affected the fight? Because it wasn't like the first 2 rounds were blowouts.
I mean, obviously, we have got Anthony Joshua in the mix there. Do you think we will see him face Tyson? Well, when do you think we may see him face Tyson Fury if Tyson still has the belt, and if the same is with AJ?
Just seems like it probably won't be this year. I hope it will be at the end of the year. It's possible, I think, for whether it's September, October, somewhere in the fall. I think it's more likely we see it in 2021. Just a complicated deal to make because you have ESPN, which offers pay-per-view, and DAZN, which currently doesn't. I know Eddie said he can get around that possibly by going one night only, but it's still a complicated deal to make. This isn't ESPN dealing with another network giant in Fox. So, but look, if there's enough money on the table, we know in boxing it will get done.
Obviously, you just mentioned numbers there. broadcast as well. I saw you tweet yesterday about the numbers, the pay-per-view numbers for Wilder Fury in North America, 800 to 850,000 estimated. What was your thoughts when you found out those figures?
A little disappointed, and it's tough to say. When the fight was originally announced, I thought to myself, okay, this is between like 6 and 750, because the first fight did like 325. Now, you get to Vegas, you see the blitz they have, Sports Center on location at the MGM Grands, FS1 with the Speak for Yourself at the MGM Grands. Just a media blitz, but you have to remember they're really targeting people that are watching Fox and ESPN, people that are sports fans already, maybe casual boxing fans, the kind of person that rarely watches. And they did really nice streaming numbers on ESPN Plus and Fox. But I think it's just hard in this day and age to hit 1 million. I mean, there's only 2 guys who can do that consistently in combat sports, Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. Outside of that, maybe I assume Fury versus Joshua would do over 1 million. But what fights otherwise do it, other than a Mayweather-Pacquiao too? I don't know.
Well, Mike, appreciate your time. We'll leave it there now because I know I caught you as you seem to be on your way out to enjoy your day. I'll probably see you later on at the weigh-in, but I appreciate your time and thank you for speaking to Boxing Social. I'll see you soon.
All right, thanks for having me.